It's just like they give you U3 on unemployment at 10.2%, and the real figure of U6 with birth-death ratio stripped out is 22.2%. So you can't believe a thing the government says. So just based on those figures, you've got a double, maybe a triple, maybe a quadruple. I don't know. I don't know how crazy this thing's going to get, but I know by the end of next year, gold will be $3,000, or at least $2,400. And so that's where we're headed. So to answer your question, buy, double down. This is the greatest bull market in history. More money is going to be made in this market by a small group of people, less than 15% of the U.S. population, than ever before in any bull market, in any stock exchange, anywhere. And I said that on this program 4 or so years ago when we started. And nobody believed me except a handful of people, especially the guys in Rota, Spain.
I think that's the truth. From Rota, Spain, now that you mention it, from Rota, Spain, Mr. Chapman, have you heard that the euro surged to above $1.51 U.S. dollars today, shattering a long-term standing trading range? When I went to trade dollars for euros this morning to go eat breakfast, I was amazed I had to pay $1.57 for my euro dollars so I could eat at a local restaurant. The common currency advanced nearly 2 cents since yesterday, a significant single-session gain for such a major currency. What do you see in the very near future?
Well, on Monday it was 149.72, and this morning it was 150.62, down from 151.37 yesterday. So it's a breakout. We're going to go down a bit, go up a bit further in the euro versus the dollar. We'll get down to 71.72. It's 74.27 right now. We'll have a bounce, maybe to 76.78, which is normal. We'll go down and have a retest, and 71.18 will break. And that's when the euro will go to 160 again. And so in the meantime, if the dollar rallies a bit, the euro probably will back off to maybe 147, 148, but it's going higher. It's going to 160, and it could go as high as 220 over the next year.
Last year I took your advice and invested a large sum of money into silver, which I still have. I purchased silver at $9.91. Obviously, it's almost doubled. At the present time, would you recommend those of us in the Corps that are located here on assignment to go to Spain, the opening up of a local bank account and putting what we possibly would need over the next 6 months, so dollars now, trading on the dollar even at $1.50, and putting what we can afford and living off of that, and putting our paychecks into the euro dollars as the market allows? Or do you think that we just need to just sit back and do our daily chores and change our money when we need it?
Well, I think because you know what you know, that you should take half of what you normally would spend and buy euros with it, put it in the bank, and the other half keep in dollars. And when the dollar rallies again, back up to 76 or 8, if that happens, then you'd buy the rest in euros. And, you know, I'm going to be on the air with you, and so we can pace this thing as we go along over the next year, God willing. You know I am an old man, and anything can happen. And what I think is that you can start putting half your money in there for starters, and we'll work it from there. And you know I'll be here, so you can ask the questions as we go along month to month.
I have one for you. Jacqueline Lane is 93 years old. You need to understand you're not an old man. Jacqueline Lane gets out and runs 5 miles every day, or at least walks and jogs 5 miles every day with a fast walk. You need to look into the Wayne Pickering method of keeping yourself healthy. You're not old. You're just in the prime of your life.
Well, I like to think that. And incidentally, I know Jack LaLanne, and I used to belong to his gym on the Miracle Mile in Los Angeles. I belonged there for about 4 or 5 years, and that's when I was in my 30s. And I had this gorgeous torso. And what happens if you don't keep on working out, you get in your 60s and 70s, it doesn't work anymore.
It gets harder. It gets harder. You can still do it. It just gets harder.
Unless you work out, it just turns to marshmallow. So get ready for it, all you guys with your beautiful torsos. It's all going to change. What will ask Mr. Chapman? What will be the Dow versus gold ratio when they finish playing themselves out? How close to 1 will it get, or will it be less than 1? I really can't say. I've watched the ratio for 50 years, and I quite frankly, I'm not a believer. And I like to look at fundamentals no matter what they are, whether it's a battle plan or it's a method of picking the right stock that has the right fundamentals. And so I don't really look too much at those kinds of things. Even charts, I only look at them at long-term and intermediate term. And the reason why is that there's manipulation in the market by the government. So the short-term devices, charts, cycles, waves, you can't use them. I mean, we just had Bob Prechter at 950 predicted gold was going to go to 700 or something like that because of his waves. Well, gold's 1200. And if I was one of Mr. Prechter's subscribers, I'd be very unhappy. And he's doing the best he can, but the point is they don't work. And so to answer your question, I can't because I don't think it works.
Okay, I've got a number of questions here. We'll start with this one. Why would the central bank sell gold for fiat currency when they can print all that phony baloney money they want?
Well, they've been doing that for a long time. And the reason why is that they wanted to turn all currencies into currencies that were not backed by anything, and they did that. There's only one currency that's backed by gold, and that's the euro, and my guess is it's about 7%. I don't know the figure because they don't give it to you. But I've seen them selling and leasing. They just bailed out the Comex several months ago. They did it through Deutsche Bank. They took gold. They delivered it to the Deutsche Bank, who supposedly lent it to Comex. Well, we know what they did. They were stupid to try to hide it. I mean, that industry's so small, you know, you sneeze and everybody knows it. And so the central banks at the behest of the United States government have sold lots and lots of gold. How much gold do they have left? I don't know, because nobody knows because they won't tell the truth. What do I think it is? They might have 5,000 tons. That's it. What does the United States get? I don't know. They haven't been audited since 1954. I know that there's bars in Fort Knox because we had the week before last, I don't know which it was, a retired top sergeant tell us that his detail guarded it. So we know something's there. If it's tungsten bars covered with gold, I don't know, and neither does he. But we really don't know what they've got.
Mr. Al comes in and wants to know how much of the gold do you think is phony tungsten coated?
Gee, I couldn't venture a guess. maybe all of it, maybe half of it, maybe a third of it. I think the important thing is how did it get that way, who did it, and where did the gold go? If they sold it and the U.S. government kept the money, that's okay. It's still fraud. But if the gold was sold and stolen by the likes of the Clinton Bush crime families, that's another story altogether.
Is it live gold or is it Memorex gold?
You got it.
There's just no way that we can tell. One more question from Al. He wants to know why isn't silver at $70?
Where it should be.
Where it should be in ratio to gold.